What up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One. Welcome to my channel. Now, if you're really supporting the channel, and if you're supporting the Don Squad movement, please be sure to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share it with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Now, got all that stuff out of the way. Let's get into what I wanted to talk about. And what I want to talk about is things I learned working at Kroger, okay? And if I had to do it all over again, I would do a lot of things differently. But you know, it's one of those type of deals where it's trial by error. So you have to go through a certain process and learn from that. Okay, but if I had to do it all over again, there are a couple of things I would change. The first thing I would change is being too friendly, particularly at a Kroger store or just any job. It doesn't necessarily have to be Kroger. Being too friendly can be a gift and a curse at the same time, because people can perceive that as you're being too friendly, as you're too easy, you're an easy mark, you're an easy lick, or people get very intimidated by you being so friendly. They have their guards up all the time, like, why are you so friendly? Why are you so friendly to me? Okay, is something, are you wanting something from me? Are you trying to take my position? So yeah, that'd be one thing, to, being too friendly. Then the next thing I would change is let your work speak for yourself. And if you don't know what I'm saying, allow your boy to explain. Let your work speak for yourself. Don't advertise what you can or what you cannot do. Don't advertise, I want to do this, I don't want to do that. Let your work do your talking. Do less of this and more of showing the work on the page. Because if you are a good worker, if you are a dependable worker, your work will speak for yourself. There's nothing you need to say or nothing needs to be said about your production, because any half-decent employer, manager, department head, whatever, supervisor, they're going to notice it real fast and real quick. Oh, well, this person is very dependable. They come in every day. They never skip days. They have no days off. They never call out. If I tell them to do a task, not only they complete the task, but they're ready to help me on a different task. Okay, so let your work speak for yourself. You don't need to, explain to people or tell people how dependable or dedicated you are, and you don't need a bunch of people speaking for you. Let your work speak for yourself. So another thing I would change if I had to do it all over again is not having friends as coworkers. I feel like that is the number one downfall to a lot of good employees. And a lot of good employees are, a lot of good employees, you wouldn't know their potential. Because some employees, it's hard to explain, but if an employee has some type of sense of who you are and what you are, and they're getting that information from someone else who's probably not going to be the best person to represent you, then I have seen a lot of great employees just fall through the wayside, slip through the cracks. They quit. They just move on to another location. Have you ever heard of this, where this person didn't work out at this location, So they quit. Let's just say they worked at Kroger and they've been there for like 2 months and things were not working for them. Management didn't feel like that, they were a good worker. So they quit Kroger and they go someplace else, and you hear about them like, wow, they are doing excellent at this up at our competitor. They're dependable. They work hard, and and I have seen managers literally sit in the office and go, well, how come they didn't do that here? And you ask yourself, they probably were doing that here. It's just you didn't know. A lot of Kroger managers are not great evaluators. They're not good with time management. Okay, they don't know how to micromanage. There's a thin line between micromanaging and just being in the way. And I feel like there's a lot of Kroger employees, a lot of Kroger managers out there that don't know what talent is if it hits them in the face. So my rule of thumb is, if you go to any local, it doesn't even matter if it's Kroger or any work environment, if people want to be friendly with you, that's cool. If people want to, hang out with you after work, that's cool. But I'm just telling you, you should treat your job as a job. You're there to work. You're not there to add followers. This is not Facebook. This is not the YMCA. This is not a clubhouse. This is not a sorority. Okay? You need to treat your work as your job. You come in, you clock in, you do your job. If they want you to stay over, you can stay over. If you want to work on your days off, that's cool. But you go in, you clock in, you work, and you clock out. Okay? Do your 8 and get out the gate. That's my best piece of advice for anyone out there that, if you're a new employee or you find yourself in a situation like, man, I didn't know what happened, why it didn't work out here. And, everything didn't fall in place at this location. I quit there, I go someplace else, and everything's falling the way it's supposed to be. It's working out great over here. How come it didn't work out great over there? And it could be a lot of reasons why it didn't work great out over there. I feel like managers, a lot of managers are not good talent evaluators. A lot of managers get their information in the wrong places. And I feel like that's more to the tune of managers don't evaluate employees. They got some ideal of an employee, but they don't truly evaluate that employee. They basically get their information from other employees or get their information from an assistant manager or from a department head or a supervisor. And maybe those individuals have an axe to grind with you. Maybe there's a disconnection with you with an assistant manager. So if it falls down to those phases, they're probably not going to give you a positive feedback to the store manager, and the store manager based all his and her decisions on people that he feels he can trust. Or it just might be as simple as the person that he's getting all his information from, they're basing it off of other employees, or they just not good at evaluating people. Okay? To me, if it doesn't matter if you like or dislike an employee, if that employee is coming in every day, they're never late, they hardly call out, they do their job, that's good enough. I feel like that's good enough. As far as, well, do I like this employee? Do I want to hang out with this employee? I think all of that stuff is irrelevant. Is this employee dependable? And is this employee likes to work and appreciates the job? So yeah, those are the things. If I had to do them all over again, I would do things differently. And probably my future at Kroger would have been a lot different than it is now. I don't have a future in Kroger. Okay. I have went on and done other things. So yeah, that's my video. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. If you appreciate the content I'm delivering, please comment in the comment section. If there's other discussions you want me to talk about, hit it in the comment section, okay? So I'm up out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. I'm gone.